Canto 12, Immortals. 2. Heroic Council. High upon the snow-clad slopes of Snowdon, Britannia brandishes her family. And paces by her faithful Gideon, she waits to greet Neptune's emissary. Green merman comes, draped in coral sharkskin, the sounds of horns and drums. The meeting may begin. Phoebus, the Druidic scene illumes a serious parlance cooks. Zephyrs ruffle Ra's ostrich plumes. Her Majesty nears the crux. I sense the harbinger of dooms. Rough cancer fills the flux. The testing time forspaken draweth near. Come the day, shouts Sterling, whom shall fight here? The loyal company and true cries ready for the war. Violet Vishnu skims skyey blue, Ra sails for dusky shore. Neptune accommodates Dagon, the lion roars its roar. Britain. Apocalypse. 4 riders climb through the bowels of Dis, steeds fording the flammable Phlegethon and the dark brown dismal Stygian piss, to ford the waters of the Acheron, past Cerberus, 3-headed howling hound, over Lake Avernus to stand on Midgard's ground. The air grew thick with snort and steam, o'er the red, white, black and pale. The moon took on a crimson gleam, bellowed up a fearsome gale. Around the hoof what horrors stream, pungent in noxious veil, 1,000 Chivialos and their sneer, released on earth to furnish curse and fear. Mars lifts his blade, strike splits the ground, lungs blow the martial rope. Lorlean sound startling the hounds, pacing the Paynim shore, whom approach him and approaching wield the first snarls of war. Europa. Divine war. At first it seems a cloud of far distance, choking the icy wastes of Cocytus. The standards of the king of hell advance. Behold the proud legion of Saturnus, waving rough sword in motions of his might, behind a demon horde, above a dragon's flight. Proud Liming Odin's counsel went, on the stallion Sleipnir, as his son, their lieutenant, swings his hammer broad Mjolnir. Toward the trembling Occident it points his great spear Gungnir. Saw tentatively rising from the east, grew too afraid to light that royal feast. On clinquant rays 3 saints descend, George Michael and Denny. Jove's holy blend, called to defend faith's physicality. Blades sharpened for the battle, feathered backs against the sea. Britannia. Death of Venus. Skulloke steed steered in full freedom's flight, high o'er Europa's forests and ranges, and lands upon a mountain of delight. Lone grey priest, loon ranting of its dangers. Strong. So I'm going to read the old version. His limbs muscle a path through down that dark cave, down the moist long tunnel on marmoreal wave. But the new version is much better. As Loki looked on love's white dress and her face above all art, the first temptress of loveliness held legs slenderly apart. Oh, the vision of her cestus, temple's resplendent heart. What man could fight allurements of her charms? What god could fight her pure come to my arms? He plunged a poison-tipped dagger through Venus' heaving breast. By grey river, a murderer lay Pharaoh's corpse to rest. Hair willowing through waters, one breaks free from all the rest. Hoselberg. A savage affray. Smoke, flash and shout, a massive grassy plain. The cockerel of Gaul battles Odin. Together Tyre and Tutatis lay slain, and all the world was echoing the din. Old Saint Denis transforming to a hart, chased by these tusk-paws 3, hooves pounding as they dart. To the scene of desperate fight enveloping St. Michael's, some foulest serpent's poisonous bite, that beautiful bladesman fell. To morass down, flopping in plight, St. George would drop pell-mell, and disappearing neath flailing tooth and claw, to burst back with his kingsman, soaked in gore. Quite get that right. You'll see why I've been reading it today. All in the, slow driven backwards towards the sea, Albion's precious moat. All in Slow driven backwards towards the sea, Albion's precious moat. Desperately, defiantly, the rampant lion fought. Deep gouges in its surly loins, wild harpies at its throat. Europa. Today, by the way, is the day where I'm walking around Edinburgh. It's June the 1st, 2020, and I've realised that I now need to go back to the original 900 stanza strong Axis and Allies later this year, like in the next month or two. So it's quite a seminal day for my poem. So this is going to be the sort of like Epyllia version now, and but it's helping me transcend it and get into a good frame of mind, and all the like legends and stuff at the beginning of each stanza is going to be quite interesting. Anyway, Prometheus. Wide-eyed inside a nightmare's aftershock, the great god of war wakens in the rains, arms enter metal, tied to a craggy rock, in craven rage and straining at the chains. Why hold me here? Shouts echo across the seas, no rescuers appear. Now dropping to his knees, he fills the cosmos with despair from dawn till the drop of night. At last the Dark Lord made aware of the war god's desperate plight, and sends 3 harpers through the air, crow-throated feral flight, from whose sharp claws drops a golden key. What massive slime rises from the sea. That key grabbed by your tentacle, and Lord Mars was released. Standing grateful, he brands his skull the number of the beast, poised ready for the battles, hell's hegemony increased. Halting hell. Saturnus tried to set the sea on fire and boil the flesh of Neptune from his bones. St. George swings wide his blade, Jove's first flyer, and safely whipping flames with brisk cyclones. Yet fell to bite pure ichor gushing free. He faced the dragon's flight, terrible fury. In raging snicker-snack attack, Deus dripping from bright eyes, through dragon's skull split with a crack to the final fourth thing flies, and slicing wings from bony back, one heart's thrust and it dies. A day of evil darkness pacified, what dismayed groans erupt from Gaul's shore side. Dreadful Baba Shurath, the dolphin lizard king, dread racked with wrath, son of Gorath, black bone where once was winged, sinks deeply with dragonicide, its limp tail following. Europa. Love's hope. A river courses through a horseful plain, willows the golden strand of Venus. On fibres rests a precious faint blood stain, ingraining the best of her essences. Europa's shore watches Thetis make play. I don't want to use willowing again, I'll just swap that out. Europa's shore watches Thetis make play, where pleasant water pours into a crescent bay. As Merman scouts the outer seas, he spies the velvety thread, escorts it through the coral trees to where old fair Dagon rested, plants it on the snoring wheeze of Neptune bare-chested, locking it in a lucid airy dome, and blows it spinning through the underfoam. Hair lands inside an oyster shell, jaws quiver as they close. Ambrosial, mother of pearl as soft as springtime snows, hushes her magic and the fibre to a wild rose grows. Oceana. Stand of Pyrrhon. As weather gleams goldenly glorious, ever some eastward, spoiling countryside, steams the banded legions of Saturnus. Half a league in the van, half 4 horsemen ride. Grind hooves to a halt, before a vast prospect, lit by a thunderbolt, by enemy bespecked. The hordes of Hades charge and fought, a spirit army scattered. Pyrrhon conjured a fire float, so many helms were shattered. Tough armour caught a fire slowed, down a gorge side clattered. Attackers halting as on either side. On oath the stonecraft repels the Stygian tide. Great daemons surrounded Pyrrhon to deal the killer blow. Stepping upon the field frozen, the lake seems solid snow. The Ice King makes it crack, dragging them to the black below. Asia.